Joining us in Studio B, one of our favorite guests. We are always excited and glad to have him hanging out with us. Jared Ward, BYU professor first and foremost, right?
That's right.
Whoa.
Also top 10 runner in the world when it comes to the Boston Marathon and the Olympics. But
What is missing?
your mustache is gone.
Uh-huh.
Did you do this last time you came on?
I did
Shave
actually.
the mustache right before you came on the show?
Yeah.
Is this a wife request?
I'm gonna table that. But she does. You know, I've always shaved for her birthday and for Christmas, right? And that's pictures and things like that too. But coming into this Boston buildup, it was about a month ago. I said, I think I'm gonna shave it for a little while, and she's like, really? You know, this is new. This is new. And my lip was cold walking over here, frankly. So we'll see how long it lasts. But.
Okay. So not a permanent fixture at this point, but definitely an important part of your running and personal career.
Well, yeah, and I think I've always been afraid to shave it before races like the Boston Marathon, right? Because I think no one would know who I am.
It's a trademark now.
I'm trying to, yeah.
How is President Obama going to be like, hey, where's the mustache guy? Where's Jared Ward?
You know, I'm sure the only reason he recognized me is because I'm the only one on that team with a mustache. The Olympic team, right? No, the only one on the, yeah.
All good. Jared Ward with us. In all seriousness, congratulations on quite a year. Oh, my goodness. I mean, in the last calendar year, you finished number 6 in the Olympics. You finished top 10 in Boston, and there's, significant arguments that the Boston Marathon is way more loaded than the Olympics because you're not limited, right? Anybody can qualify for that.
Right. You can only have 3 Kenyans at the Olympics and 3 Ethiopians at the Olympics, and but at Boston, you can get a dozen, right? And so there is more. There's more international. I don't know. They select what they think is their best team for the Olympics, right? But you get more of that, a deeper international field sometimes at a place like Boston. So it's different.
What is the experience of running the Boston Marathon like? Take us on the route. What is that like?
It's pretty wild. I mean, the fans, Boston comes out for this event, right? In fact, I was talking to someone in Boston who moved away for a job for like a year, and came Boston Marathon Monday, and she's like, she was talking about work coming up, and she's like, well, we don't have work on Monday, right? It's Marathon Monday. And people are like, what? Like, it's Patriots Day, no work, right? The city of Boston shuts down just like any other Monday holiday, right?
It's like for Pioneer Day for people from Utah.
Right.
When they leave, like, I don't get Pioneer Day off?
That's exactly what it's
July
like.
24th? What?
That's exactly. And so it does. The city comes out for it, and people are on their front lawn. You know, the course winds on this, like, it's kind of this road that goes through a bunch of towns. And so there's houses on each side of the road for a while, and then you go into this little mini town, right? And then you go out of the town, and you're back to houses. And so people are having parties on their front lawns, and like they got their tents set up, and
Wow.
they're trying to hand you oranges or bananas or whatever. And it's just like this big city party. And it's deafeningly loud in some portions.
That's amazing. And I heard that for the majority of the course from Caitlin King, who is one of our producers, and she went and watched the Boston Marathon. She said that there are like 4 or 5 rows of people deep, essentially for 26 miles.
Yeah. And in some places, it's like 10 people deep, right? And just yelling. It's you can't hear anything because it's just like a wall of noise. Yeah, at some points. It's cool.
Does that energize you?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I would think so.
It's interesting to watch, when you're running in the pack at the front, it's interesting as you go into these cities and it gets louder, you can just feel it picking up, right? And then you go out of the city and there's still people along the side, but you get out of this noise tunnel and it kind of like the pace settles back down. And then you go back through this next city and you can feel it picking up. But yeah, it's a natural energizer for sure.
All right, this is a legitimate question. Do not laugh at this question, because I really think about this and wonder how runners get through this, long-distance runners. What do you think about while you're running? Because I find myself like 45 minutes on like an exercise bike. I'm wanting to get off of it. My mind is thinking of how do you keep your mind occupied during a race?
Well, it starts with not thinking about the race at the beginning of a marathon, right? So you're on the start line thinking, okay, 2 hours, right? Here we go. Very broad focus. So for the first part, I'm reading those signs. 25.2 miles to go, right? Or my grandma can run faster than you, or, and I'm laughing at this stuff. And then I'll start to focus a little bit later in the race, but I'm trying to have fun. I feel like the first half of the race is for me to have fun. And then the second half is trying to tighten up the screws and I start to get competitive, and then the race starts.
Now, I know you have figured out the dynamics. I mean, I think you did your thesis on what the best pace is for a marathon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much does that factor into what you're thinking about, especially during the last 13 miles of the race?
Well, so it does factor in. It's obviously not a perfect science because I didn't hit it out of the park this time, right? I think my second half was about 10 minutes slower than my first half. But I do think about that, and I think that aspect fuels more the plan. And that's what Coach and I talk about before, and the research and coach's experience and my experience and whatever feed into the plan. And then when we get out there, then it's more of the athlete switch, right? And so we have the research that fuels the plan, and then hopefully I can get out there and execute the plan. But it certainly feeds into it, right? And it's been fun to continue to do research at BYU.
When you come back to class and your students see you, do they treat you like the superstar that you are? Like, hey, Professor Ward, the Olympian, top 10 Boston Marathon finisher. Can we please have no homework?
Yeah, that's the only motivation, right? They come in, they'll come in and they'll be like, "Hey, Dr. Ward," and I'm like, "I don't have a PhD," and they're like, "That's all right, I'll still call you doctor." So yeah, I like you. But that's no, it's the students at BYU are very focused on their education and that aspect, and I think I'm blessed to have really good students that way. And so no, they're every once in a while I'll get a running question or we'll talk about it. When I came back from the Olympic trials and made the team, the class was excited to celebrate that a little bit. And so I feel like I have good support, but I have good students, and it's certainly an academic focus, yeah.
So what's next for you in terms of professional running?
We got to sort it out. First, I got to get my legs back under me after that marathon. You walk funny for a minute after
I
one of those.
can imagine.
That's surprising that you would, that would take a toll on your body.
And you got a cold lip too. I mean,
yeah, to boot, right? So no, I take this week pretty much off. Maybe a little bit of cross training. I like that exercise bike, just some light cycling to kind of get my legs back. And then next week I find out how beat up I am, and then we see when training can start, and then kind of sort it out. But hopefully a few shorter races over the summer and another marathon next fall.
What is a typical recovery time for something like that?
It'll take me a month before my training is back, assuming I'm healthy, right? And so if you come a little bit banged up, then maybe it changes. But it takes me about a month to get back to the volume, being able to get back to the volume and feel recovered. And then it probably takes another month or 2 months before I'm back in shape enough to start training for another one, right? And then that takes 2 or 3 months. And so it's a long cycle.
Crazy. Jared Ward, Olympian and top 10 finisher at the Boston Marathon, with us on BYU Sports Nation. What is your target date for your next major run? Because people are interested. They want to know when they can watch and pay attention. So what's the next circled date?
So I'm committed to racing a 10K on the 4th of July in Georgia. And I think I'm going to run the 24th of July 10K in Salt Lake.
Good luck beating Jared.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, you say it's fun. Do you really have fun? Are you having fun when you're running those long distances?
I'll be honest with you. I don't remember the last time I ever saw somebody running with a smile on their face.
Every once in a while I smile out there. It is fun for me. And I think part of the fun is trying to become better at something that, we all have things we're good at, right? And the sports psychology says that the things that you're good at, you like more. The better you feel like you're at it, the more you like it. And so for me, I like running, right? Because I feel like I'm good at it. And so it's exciting for me to take this thing that I've been blessed with some talent in and try to become a little bit better. And I'm thinking about that during the race and when I'm training, and that's motivating, right? Just like for anything else that we care about in our lives. And so I do get excited to get out there and train. And I'm excited to get back to the training, and I'm excited for the next race, and it is fun.
For what it's worth, from the guys that wear makeup and talk about sports on TV,
Is it fun?
it is fun.
There you go.
It is fun.
There you go.
Congratulations, man. It's so cool to watch you accomplish what you're pulling off right now. It really is. It's incredible.
Well, it's been a very fun ride, and I've certainly been very blessed. But it's fun to come back here and hang out with you guys too. This is fun.
This is fun,
It's
right?
fun,
Right?
yes.
And
Yeah.
no running involved.
Well, we should run together. Maybe we could have fun doing that too, and then we can,
We could run together for probably like a block.
Yes. I think last time you were on, we talked about the sticker that I had seen that said like 0.26 or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of the
That's hilarious.
26.2.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I need one of those stickers. Jared, thanks, man. Great to talk to
Hey,
you.
thank you guys.